In many high-stakes environments, two opposing strategies often meet. On one side is explosive, natural talent. On the other is slow, methodical effort. This is an exploration of what happens when that explosive talent stops dead in its tracks, while the slow grind keeps moving. To understand the tension, we can look at two specific archetypes. First is the rabbit. This represents peak capability, high speed and massive potential, but often limited by overconfidence. Then there is the turtle. The baseline speed is low, but it is supported by patience and continuous, uninterrupted dedication. The rabbit relied on explosive bursts of speed, but the turtle knew that being fast is good, but constantly moving forward is just as necessary. While high-speed talent is easier to notice and celebrate, this case study tests if the flatter line on the right is actually a more effective strategy for the long term. The conflict began by the riverbank. The rabbit publicly claimed that his top speed was unmatched, asserting that no one in the woods could keep up with him. The turtle offered a simple counter-argument. Speed doesn't matter if you fail to maintain forward momentum. To settle the debate, the other animals, led by a watchful owl, turned these theoretical boasts into a measurable test. They organized a race to see which trait would actually reach the finish line first. The race began with a signal from the peacock, and both competitors immediately put their strategies to work. The rabbit ran like lightning, opening up a massive gap within minutes. Looking back, he decided he had done enough. Without a close competitor to keep him focused, the rabbit began to prioritize his comfort. A cool breeze and the shade of a tree became more important than Prince itself. He sat down to rest, eventually falling into a deep sleep. His output for the rest of the afternoon was 0. This shows the risk of natural advantage. Without discipline, the rabbit surrendered his lead in a matter of minutes. While the rabbit was stationary, the turtle continued his climb. There were no bursts of speed, only a steady sequence of methodical steps. Because he never stopped to rest, the turtle eventually passed by the sleeping rabbit. The animals watching the race began to take notice. Relentless movement was slowly changing their minds about who was actually winning. The results show a clear pattern. Over a long enough timeline, continuous movement will regularly outpace a fast competitor who stops moving. The rabbit finally woke up as the sun was setting. The change in light signaled just how much time he had lost. He scrambled to his feet and began running at maximum speed, trying to make up for the hours he had spent sleeping. But he was too late. By the time he reached the end of the course, the turtle had already crossed the finish line. The crowd cheered for the turtle, acknowledging that his strategy of persistence had worked. Time doesn't stop for anyone. No amount of last-minute sprinting could recover the hours the rabbit gave away to a nap. After the race, the rabbit admitted he was wrong. He went to the turtle and apologized for making fun of his speed. The turtle was a good sport about it, noting that while talent is a head start, persistence is what finishes the job. The rabbit took the lesson to heart. He stopped bragging, and the two of them remained friends. The outcome highlights why we still tell this story. Slow and steady wins the race. It shows that patience and continuous effort can overcome even the most significant head starts.